There's some cruisers, man. That's crazy shit. Guys crawling at me like a goddamn... What's up, dude?
Welcome back. Back with another banger. It's the React Files, where we react
to the creepiest, craziest, scariest TikToks. You shouldn't watch alone.
Hope you're having a good night. And if you haven't already, please take a second just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So let's get straight to it.
This is the most disturbing photo in Appalachian Trail history. Just hours after this photo was taken, Geraldine Largay got lost off of the Appalachian Trail. Shortly thereafter, she sent a text to her husband George in some trouble, got off the trail to go to BR, now lost XOX. Cell coverage is not very good in the deep Maine wilderness, and that text message never went through. She decided to set up camp and wait for rescue. Geraldine Largay waited in this campsite for 26 days. She kept a journal during her time waiting. She wrote, "When you find my body, please call my husband George and my daughter Carrie. It will be the greatest kindness for them to know that I am dead and where you found me, no matter how many years from now." Hikers were only left to speculate about what happened to her and what caused her disappearance. That is, until October 14th, 2015. Geraldine Largay was found less than 2 miles away from the Appalachian Trail.
That's very disturbing. 26 days is a long time. I wonder if she was trying to lead a trail and just hit it on foot. What would you do in that situation? Me? I would have kept pushing. I ain't waiting nowhere for 26 days. Yeah, that missing 411 definitely gave me some creepy vibes. Yeah, they look like they just escaped a mental ward.
10 mysterious disappearances in national parks that will unsettle you. First up, Dennis Martin, who went missing in the Great Smoky Mountains in 1969 at just 6 years old. Thelma Pauline Melton vanished under similar circumstances in the same park years later. Yosemite claims multiple losses, like Michael Fisery, who disappeared in 2005 and was never found. Over in the Great Smoky Mountains, Trenny Gibson, 16, vanished during a 1976 school trip. Geraldine Largay got lost hiking the Appalachian Trail in Maine and was never found. Bessie and Glenn Hyde, newlyweds, attempted a Grand Canyon speed record in 1928 and disappeared without a trace. Stacy Ann Arris, another Yosemite victim, went missing during a horseback trip in 1981. Paul Fugit, a park ranger in Arizona's Chiricahua National Monument, also vanished while on duty in 1980. Charles McCullough met a chilling fate in Oregon's Crater Lake in 1975. Lastly, 8-year-old Samuel Boelke inspired a major search operation when he vanished at Crater Lake in 2006.
Is there more to the missing 411 phenomenon than simple coincidence? The missing 411 refers to a series of unsolved cases of people who have mysteriously vanished in national parks and forests around the world. These disappearances, extensively documented by retired police officer David Paulides, share eerie similarities that defy simple explanations. The theory suggests that these disappearances could be linked by more than just location. The victims often vanish without a trace, even when in sight of others, and search dogs are frequently unable to pick up a scent. When bodies are found, They are often in areas previously searched, with cause of death remaining unexplained. Some speculate that these disappearances could be the result of cryptid encounters, alien abductions, or even interdimensional phenomena. Others suggest a government cover-up, pointing out the National Park Service's alleged reluctance to maintain a database of the missing people. While skeptics attribute these cases to simple accidents or wildlife encounters, the peculiar patterns and strange circumstances surrounding these disappearances continue to stir curiosity and unease. The question remains, what's really behind the missing 411 phenomenon? As more and more people continue to vanish, the mystery only deepens.
That's the question we all have. Is there more to this? My question is, why wouldn't they want to have a database full of information for these circumstances? That's sketchy. Or lazy. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments down below.
I really don't feel good. This is freaking me out. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab the other trail camera. So I'm gonna fall over. What was that? That was like a growl. Okay. I'm just gonna grab the trail camera and I'm gonna get out of here. I can't. I start the growl again. I don't feel good. My head is really starting to hurt. That was the move right there. There's something up in those mountains that's making this noise. And I don't know what it is. I don't know. Okay, I didn't bring any weapons or anything. So that was one right there. I don't really feel safe being here. I'm just gonna get out of here. What is that right there? That is definitely some kind of bone. Call from up there. I mean, this thing could be anywhere.
Yeah, that was some real hills have eyes type creepy craziness going on. Yeah, man, he was in a bad spot. He had the low ground. And how you not gonna have any weapon to protect yourself in that situation? That's crazy. At least a hunting knife, right? You never know. But boy, feet don't fail me now. I would have been out. Grab the trail cam. We booking it. Like, I don't know what else to say.
You will never go near the woods again if you watch this documentary. It is about hunters and people who specialize in being in the wilderness who just vanish without a trace. And I'm not talking like they wander into the woods and just go missing. In one of these cases, a guy went into the woods with a group of his friends and they went hunting. He was only about a couple of feet away from them when suddenly they turned around and he was gone. In many of these cases, massive search parties are released to try to find these people, and they are never found. A couple of theories are discussed in this doc, like paranormal theories, Sasquatch theories, ideas that maybe they fell into crevasses. If trained professionals are going missing in the wilderness, you bet your ass I'm not going anywhere near the woods. Let me know in the comments if you've ever experienced anything weird in the wilderness, and hit follow for more docs to watch.
How many nature lovers do we have out there? Those who like to take the walks in the woods, hiking up trails. Hey, I'm one of them. So yeah, man, you definitely gotta be prepared for anything. Gotta take it slow. You don't want to be out there at night. Plus you got a flashlight. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all think of this. I think it's crazy.
And this is where the missing 411 come from. And they don't know how.
So missing 411 is the number of people that have been abducted?
Yeah, and it's all really weird because they all have like a lot of similar characteristics. They think like this might be some time traveling Nazi shit, bro. The conspiracy people.
What is interesting is how advanced the engineering of the Germans was. But I think that's what BMW did, right?
Yeah, 100%.
This is wild, man. Like they had computers.
It was like a filing system to keep track of stuff.
Yeah, of who was where and what into these camps.
For that, but the place wasn't called IBM, right? Did we really do this? The strategic alliance between Nazi Germany and America's most powerful corporation expanded. What do you think it's about?
It's spiritual war, dude. This is.
I think they want complete control.
My name's Erwin Ralston. My parents are Donna and Larry Ralston of Englewood, Colorado. Whoever finds this, please make an attempt to get it to them. Be sure of it. I would appreciate it.
In the summer of 1996, Randy Morganson, a seasoned park ranger, set out to patrol the vast wilderness of California's Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. Familiar with every twist and turn of the trails, Randy was as much a part of the park as the ancient trees and silent mountains. As he embarked on what seemed like another routine day, the serene beauty of the park surrounded him, a world away from the clamor of everyday life. But as the days passed, Randy didn't return. The wilderness he knew so well had seemingly claimed him. Search teams combed the rugged terrain, yet the expansive and wild park offered no clues to his whereabouts. Randy Morganson's disappearance remains a mystery wrapped in the natural allure of the national parks. Did he make a tragic misstep, or did the park hold other secrets about his disappearance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Ain't no telling in a park like that. Could have been a misstep, could have been a secret. I'm on the fence with that one. Now that's a true unsolved mystery.
Have you ever wondered why, if you minus all of the opposite numbers on a clock, it adds up to 6? Well, here's why. 6 is the number of time, space and matter. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 24 hours in a day, 2 plus 4 equals 6. Altogether, that's 666. The cube has 6 sides, and this is the geometric shape which gives rise to matter. Everything inside of the physical world has 6 sides, up, down, right, left, back and forward. We live in a 3-dimensional physical world where everything has 6 sides. The cross of Jesus is an unfolded cube. In Mecca, they worship the black cube. And the famous toy of Jack in the Box. Cube symbolizes the physical plane, the triangle symbolizes the ethereal plane. In order to project our consciousness outside of the physical plane, where we are not bound by time, space and matter, you have to think outside the box. It's truth in plain sight. We are Jack in the Box. The North Pole of Saturn, you have the cube. Add up all the sides, it creates a 6-pointed star with 6 mini triangles and 6 sides, 666. We are created out of carbon, and carbon is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. The body is the mark of the beast because this is the mark of time, space and matter. Our consciousness is hexed into time, space and matter. And that's why the Bible says Satan, who is the god of this world. Satan is Saturn. Saturn is the god of this world. Saturn is pretty much the computer that we are in. This book is called The Book of Wisdom. There are paperbacks and PDFs available. The link is in my bio. There is worldwide shipping.
A revival of wisdom be dropping gems. I never knew the clock was like that. Let me know in the comments down below if you knew that already. I'm late to the game, if that's the case.
The black cube of Saturn, also known as the Saturnian cube, has captivated the curiosity and imagination of many, particularly within esoteric and conspiracy theories. This enigmatic symbol is closely associated with the planet Saturn and has garnered diverse interpretations and beliefs across various cultures and belief systems. In esoteric traditions, the black cube is regarded as a representation of Saturn's energy or a cosmic force linked to the planet's characteristics. It is often perceived as a symbol shrouded in mystery, embodying occult power and the veiled realms of hidden knowledge. The cube's dark color is frequently associated with Saturn's association with darkness, time, and the shadow aspects of existence, hinting at profound meanings. The association of the black cube with Saturn can be traced back to religious and mythological contexts as well. In ancient Babylonian culture, the deity Ninurta, or Marduk, was symbolized by a black cube, signifying its divine essence and power. Furthermore, in Islamic tradition, the Kaaba, the revered structure located in Mecca, is a large black cube-shaped building. Considered the holiest shrine in Islam, it serves as the central focal point for Muslims during the Hajj pilgrimage. The Kaaba's black color and cubic shape have forged connections with the concept of the black cube, as both inspire awe and reverence within their respective religious contexts. Beyond religious and esoteric associations, the black cube has also attracted attention in conspiracy theories. It is occasionally depicted as a symbol of control, manipulation, and occult influence wielded by secretive elite groups. These theories often interweave the black cube with notions of global power structures, secret societies, and alleged hidden agendas. However, it is important to approach these theories with discernment, recognizing the distinction between factual information and speculative claims. In esoteric and occult traditions, the black cube assumes deeper significance. It is viewed as a symbol of mystery, power, and transformation, representing the realm of hidden knowledge and the material dimensions of existence. The cube's three-dimensional nature also symbolizes the interplay of opposing forces and the intricate dimensions of physical reality. It is often associated with the seeker's spiritual journey, illuminating the path towards self-discovery and transcendence. The allure of the black cube's enigma extends far beyond its various associations. It has sparked profound contemplation and imaginative speculation, drawing connections and inspiring theories that transcend cultural and historical boundaries. Some theorists delve into the realms of ancient civilizations and mythologies, seeking to uncover hidden truths and mystical wisdom embedded within the black cube's symbolism. They explore the ancient Babylonian traditions, where the cube represented the divine essence of powerful deities. By examining the significance of the Kaaba in Islam, they unravel the spiritual significance of the black cube as a focal point of devotion and the embodiment of sacred unity. Conspiracy theories surrounding the black cube venture into the realm of secrecy and power. They suggest that elite groups or clandestine organizations employ the symbol as a representation of their hidden influence, manipulating global events and orchestrating secret agendas. While it is essential to approach these theories critically and with a discerning eye, they attest to the captivating nature of the black cube and its potential to evoke intrigue and speculation. Esoteric and occult traditions regard the black cube as a conduit for transformative experiences and spiritual enlightenment. Its dark facade symbolizes the journey into the depths of the self and the exploration of hidden knowledge.
That was a good take right there. Every time I hear this black cube, I think of that movie, Hellraiser, where the person had to unlock the cubed puzzle to open that portal. So yeah, it's very interesting, you know? It's very interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think about the black cube?
This may sound like a joke to you, but it's not. Once you understand the principles relied on in this video, you can be, do, and have anything you want. And that is my promise to you.
Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have it all, while others struggle to get by? Why some people are happy, healthy, and successful, while others are unhappy, sick, and broke? Is it just luck, or is there something more behind it? What if I told you that there is a hidden wisdom that can unlock the mysteries of life and help you achieve your highest potential? A wisdom that has been passed down through the ages by secret societies and occult masters, but is now available to anyone who seeks it. A wisdom that can transform your mind, body, and spirit and align you with the natural laws of the universe. It's called Hermeticism. Hermeticism is an ancient, philosophical, and spiritual tradition that originated in Egypt around the 1st or 2nd century AD. It is based on the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure who was said to be the messenger of the gods and the source of all knowledge. Hermes Trismegistus wrote several texts that outlined the principles of Hermeticism, which are also known as the 7 Hermetic Principles. These principles describe the nature of reality and how we can use our mind to influence it. Hermeticism has influenced many esoteric and occult movements throughout history, such as alchemy, astrology, magic, Kabbalah, Rosicrucianism, Freemasonry, and Theosophy. It has also inspired many famous thinkers, artists, and leaders, such as Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, William Blake, Napoleon Bonaparte, and Carl Jung. Today, Hermeticism is still relevant and popular among those who seek spiritual enlightenment and personal growth. In this video, I will explain each of the 7 Hermetic principles in simple terms and show you how you can apply them to your life. By understanding and practicing these principles, you will be able to tap into the power of your mind and create your own reality. You will also discover the hidden connections between yourself and the universe, and how you can use them to your advantage. The first Hermetic principle is the principle of mentalism. It states that the all is mind, the universe is mental. What does this mean? It means that everything that exists is a manifestation of a single universal mind or consciousness. This mind is also known as the all, the one, the source, or God. Everything that we perceive as physical reality is actually a mental projection of this mind. This principle implies that our own mind is a part of the all and has the same creative power. We can use our mind to shape our reality according to our thoughts and beliefs. Whatever we think and feel becomes our experience. This is why it is so important to be aware of our mental state and choose positive thoughts over negative ones. One way to understand this principle is to think of quantum physics. Quantum physics is a branch of science that studies the nature of matter and energy at the smallest level. It has shown that reality is not fixed or objective, but rather depends on the observer and their expectations. For example, light can behave as either a wave or a particle, depending on how we measure it. This suggests that reality is not something out there, but something in here, in our mind. Another way to illustrate this principle is to consider the phenomenon of self-fulfilling prophecies, or placebo effect. A self-fulfilling prophecy is when our belief about something makes it happen. For example, if we believe that we are going to fail a test, we might study less or perform.
This may sound like a joke to you, but it's not. Once you understand the principles relied on in this video, you can be, do, and have anything you want. And that is my promise to you.
Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have it all, while others struggle to get by? Why some people are happy, healthy, and successful, while others are unhappy, sick, and broke? Is it just luck, or is there something more behind it? What if I told you that there is a hidden wisdom that can unlock the mysteries of life and help you achieve your highest potential? A wisdom that has been passed down through the ages by secret societies and occult masters, but is now available to anyone who seeks it. A wisdom that can transform your mind, body, and spirit and align you with the natural laws of the universe. It's called Hermeticism. Hermeticism is an ancient, philosophical, and spiritual tradition that originated in Egypt around the 1st or 2nd century AD. It is based on the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure who was said to be the messenger of the gods and the source of all knowledge. Hermes Trismegistus wrote several texts that outlined the principles of Hermeticism, which are also known as the 7 Hermetic Principles. These principles describe the nature of reality and how we can use our mind to influence it. Hermeticism has influenced many esoteric and occult movements throughout history, such as alchemy, astrology, magic, Kabbalah, Rosicrucianism, Freemasonry, and Theosophy. It has also inspired many famous thinkers, artists, and leaders, such as Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, William Blake, Napoleon Bonaparte, and Carl Jung. Today, Hermeticism is still relevant and popular among those who seek spiritual enlightenment and personal growth. In this video, I will explain each of the 7 Hermetic principles in simple terms and show you how you can apply them to your life. By understanding and practicing these principles, you will be able to tap into the power of your mind and create your own reality. You will also discover the hidden connections between yourself and the universe, and how you can use them to your advantage. The first Hermetic principle is the principle of mentalism. It states that the all is mind, the universe is mental. What does this mean? It means that everything that exists is a manifestation of a single universal mind or consciousness. This mind is also known as the all, the one, the source, or God. Everything that we perceive as physical reality is actually a mental projection of this mind. This principle implies that our own mind is a part of the all and has the same creative power. We can use our mind to shape our reality according to our thoughts and beliefs. Whatever we think and feel becomes our experience. This is why it is so important to be aware of our mental state and choose positive thoughts over negative ones. One way to understand this principle is to think of quantum physics. Quantum physics is a branch of science that studies the nature of matter and energy at the smallest level. It has shown that reality is not fixed or objective, but rather depends on the observer and their expectations. For example, light can behave as either a wave or a particle, depending on how we measure it. This suggests that reality is not something out there, but something in here, in our mind. Another way to illustrate this principle is to consider the phenomenon of self-fulfilling prophecies, or placebo effect. A self-fulfilling prophecy is when our belief about something makes it happen. For example, if we believe that we are going to fail a test, we might study less, or perform poorly on purpose, thus making our belief come true. A placebo effect is when our belief about something makes us feel better or worse without any physical cause. For example, if we believe that a sugar pill is a medicine, we might feel less pain or more energy after taking it. These examples show how powerful our mind is and how it can affect our reality. By applying the principle of mentalism, we can use our mind to create positive outcomes for ourselves and others. The second Hermetic principle is the principle of correspondence. It states that as above, so below. As within, so without. What does this mean? It means that there is a correspondence or similarity between different levels of existence. The macrocosm, the large, reflects the microcosm, the small, and vice versa. The outer world mirrors the inner world, and vice versa. This principle reveals that everything is connected and interrelated in a harmonious way. There are patterns and laws that govern all aspects of reality, from the physical to the spiritual. By understanding these patterns and laws, we can understand ourselves and our place in the universe. A simple way to understand this principle is to think of a mirror. A mirror reflects back to you what you show to it. If you smile at the mirror, it smiles back at you. If you frown at the mirror, it frowns back at you. The same thing happens with the universe. The universe reflects back to you what you project to it. If you project positive thoughts, feelings, and actions, you receive positive outcomes. If you project negative thoughts, feelings, and actions, you receive negative outcomes. This principle applies across all scales and domains of life. For example, your health is a reflection of your thoughts and emotions about your body. Your relationships are a reflection of your thoughts and emotions about yourself and others. Your career is a reflection of your thoughts and emotions about your work and purpose. Let me give you a personal example of how this principle works. A few years ago, I was unhappy with my job. I felt stuck, bored, and unfulfilled. I complained a lot about my boss, my colleagues, and my tasks. I dreaded going to work every day. As a result, I attracted more problems at work, such as conflicts, mistakes, and delays. I also noticed that my personal life was suffering. I had low energy, poor health, and strained relationships. One day, I decided to change my attitude. I realized that I was responsible for creating my reality with my thoughts and emotions. I decided to focus on the positive aspects of my job, such as the opportunity to learn new skills, the flexibility of my schedule, and the impact of my work on others. I also decided to express gratitude for my job every day. I thanked my boss for his guidance, my colleagues for their support, and my tasks for their challenge. As soon as I changed my inner world, my outer world changed too. I started to enjoy my work more, and my performance improved. I received more recognition, feedback, and opportunities from my boss and colleagues. I also noticed that my personal life improved. I had more energy, better health, and happier relationships. This is just one example of how the principle of correspondence works. You can apply this principle to any area of your life that you want to improve or change. The key is to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desired outcome.
Yeah, those are definitely some gems. Principles that you can apply to your life, wherever, you know? I feel like, you know, we create our perspective of our reality with our thoughts, stuff like that. So yeah, to some this shit might be spooky, right? Shit, when you like to know what everyone's thinking about, right? One without the other, you gotta have balance. Can't have one without the other, right? You never know.
Tiffany and Larry Fink hold such power. Why is it that you have not heard of them more? There is power in anonymity. If BlackRock is barely featured in print publications and news channels, it is because they want it to be so. If they wanted, they could feature every day. BlackRock currently owns 18% of Fox, 16% of CBS, and 13% of Comcast, which in turn owns NBC, MSNBC, and Sky. If any of those companies wanted to make a decision, they would have to also consult with BlackRock before doing so. The same is true for Google, a tech giant currently worth $853 billion. Amazon, Facebook, and Twitter are also not exempt, and neither is Disney. Thanks to their incredibly diverse investment portfolio in media alone, BlackRock essentially owns 90% of the world's media. If you don't know about them, it's because they don't want you to. Why? Owning a portion of the world doesn't come without its share of scandal or conflict. In 2020, BlackRock became the first foreign company to be allowed into China's mutual fund industry, which means they can now invest and own parts of Chinese companies, including ones that are blacklisted by the United States. One of the first investments made by BlackRock was in Hikvision, a security and communications firm that essentially makes facial recognition software for use by the Chinese government. But this money isn't just BlackRock's or Larry Fink's. It comes from pension funds and bank accounts of ordinary civilians who have unknowingly given money to BlackRock in the past. If we take into account BlackRock's ownership over Western media, banks, e-commerce stores, social media, food and beverages, and many, many more industries, it becomes evident that the company has a wealth of data on us. They may do with it what they please. TikTok's data harvesting pales in comparison to what BlackRock is capable of, given how they have everything from our bank account numbers to our personal tastes and preferences. As BlackRock's investment in China grows, so will China's influence on the world. And our personal data, which was hanging on a thread to begin with, will quickly end up in the wrong hands. With the trajectory BlackRock has been on...
Man, that one was getting good. Gotta follow the money. Seems like they got their hands in everything. Show. But man, what a coincidence.
Saturn. He's referred to as Lord of the Rings. Hollywood's still making movies about Lord of the Rings, and Americans just love it and have no idea in the world what they're looking at. They're telling you something, but you're not listening. So Saturn is the Lord of the black robe. Judges wear black robes. Catholic priests wear black robes. Rabbis wear black robes. Kids graduating from high school and university wear black robes. Black robes are the robes of the planet Saturn. Saturn color was black. God Saturn in the ancient Phoenician world was referred to as El. This is why if you're continuing today to worship the planet Saturn, you become known as an elder. How did you get to be an elder? You got elected with elections. Because you were elected, now you're one of the elites. You have become elevated. Words and terms are very, very interesting.
Man, he be breaking it down. You know? That's crazy.
Is Saturn Satan? You live inside Satan's world. You are the Holy Trinity, mind, body, and soul. This is represented by the moon, the sun, and the earth. Saturn is the god of materialism and crystallization into physical matter. The hexagon on Saturn's north pole creates a 6-pointed star, 666. which is also the atomic structure of carbon. We are carbon-based life forms. The body is the beast. You become blinded by matter and trapped by the five senses. This is why the Bible says the God of this world has blinded the mind. All of the planets are made out of the Holy Trinities. For Saturn, the Earth is over the moon, which means physical matter is over the mind, when it should be mind over matter. We see this symbolism everywhere. Check out the YouTube for more.
Yeah, she wrote that down quick. Sound like she on the same time as Revival of Wisdom. You know, carbon, 6-part that, 6-part this, 6-part that. Go figure.
Saturn worship is Satan worship. The world is in on the game. The Lord of the Rings. Who taught you to wear wedding rings?
Just now starting to see how much of our pop culture the Saturn cube has inspired. Interesting. This is all new to me. As you see, the Hellraiser poster, exactly what I was thinking. So I was especially we all had GameCubes, right? Who would have thought Sega, Saturn, right? They was pushing it to us when we were kids.
Saturn is the god of this world. The North Pole of Saturn has the cube. Cubes have 6 sides, just like everything inside of this creation. Up, down, left, right, back and forward. The cube is 3D and we are in the 3rd dimension. Add up all the sides, you get the so-called Star of David. It's not the Star of David, it's the Star of Saturn. This is why Judaism worship their god on Saturn Day, use the Star of David and have a cube on their head for Saturn. Anything to do with gaming and simulated reality always has Saturn on it. Cubes have 8 points for the 8 points of time and space. Maybe this is why Saturn is symbolized in all of the major corporations. In the Bible it says Satan, who is the god of this world. Satan sounds like Saturn. The symbol for Saturn is the Star of David, the 6 points, the 6 triangles, the 6 sides, 666. Saturn's the Lord of the Rings, he's the outermost layer of the solar system. We are made of carbon, which is 666. Our bodies are the beast, because you are not the body, you are the consciousness within the pineal gland, the mind's eye, the 3rd eye. Maybe this is why there are black cubes everywhere. If you want to learn more about this, the link is in the bio for this powerful PDF.
Yeah, I think I found my next rabbit hole, guys. Right? Hey, I'm learning a lot of deep stuff. Revival of Wisdom did put me on a lot of game about that esoteric, flow. But yo, seeing it in our companies and pop culture, it's like, oh snap, wait a minute, right? Truth in plain sight. Man, What y'all think of this, y'all? I'm mind blown.
Saturn is the so-called sixth planet in our solar system. This number 6 is incredibly significant when we look at the six-sided hexagon NASA shows us at Saturn's North Pole. This hexagon is in fact soft disclosure. You see, Saturn is not what we've been told. Saturn, like all of the other revolving luminaries, is a point of frequency expression, a sonoluminescent light above our flat plane that represents a larger concept than just a light. It's a light with principles that are embodied by the six-sided hexagon. The number 6 is not only the hexagon, but also the cube, having 6 sides. Together, these make up the hexagram, the prefix hex having to do with spellcasting, and the number 6 being the number of the material. Thus begins our description of how Saturn is being currently used, but more importantly, how it functions as a sort of computer for this material world. The figure of Father Time is a derivative of Saturn, or Cronus, the Roman god of time. The Gnostic figurehead of the Demiurge, the being who took the essence of Sophia the Black Sun and bound it by space and time, is Saturn. This word we hear, Satan, is simply a later version of the word Saturn. So the common Christian assertion that it's Satan's world simply means that we're ruled by Father Time, all of us, within the cube. But little do most Christians know that Yahweh is the Hebrew personification of Saturn. In essence, the 3 monotheistic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all promote this Saturnian energy. The constructs of control all around us are ruled by Saturn: government, media, education, and so on. Saturn is the planet of rules and limitation, and this makes sense since astrologically, Saturn is known as the planet of karma, but equally as the planet of death and destruction. From this perspective, Saturn doesn't make things easy. Energetically, Saturn commands us with discipline to get to work and to do so by carrying the principle of responsibility. Being Father Time, Saturn is at worst a dictator, but at best a wise teacher. Time is the ultimate form of slavery, but it is also a great teacher by slowing down manifestation. The elite worship Saturn as their Time Lord because Saturn restrains, and what the controllers of this world are looking for is free energy, our free electromagnetic energy, which is able to be easily siphoned when we have restrained conditions. Let's get back to the North Pole's cube. This grid pattern of the cube is nothing to ignore. It represents the binary, robot-like consciousness of Saturn. Everything is about rigidity and discipline. Old Father Time, after all, demands he be paid. This cube is deeper than just a shape. We are currently in a fractal reality construct that is essentially recreating itself in itself infinitely. This Earth construct holds Saturn as the orchestrator of this matrix, the computer, if you will. Let's briefly go back to what I've explained on the Black Sun. The Black Sun is the womb of creation on this flat plane, Sophia from the Gnostic tale. If Saturn is like the computer, then the Black Sun is like the cloud that's funneling the data throughout, just like how Sophia is entangled within the Demiurge.
Dang, another good one. Just dropping knowledge. Like, what the? Yeah, there's that forbidden knowledge, right? They didn't want you to know. Oh well. Gotta learn it someday, somehow, right? Can't tiptoe around it. How can you understand what's going on, right? If something's being hidden from you, that's unfair. How you feel about it? Let me know in the comments down below.
their energy-producing qualities, these devices also counteract the adverse effects of MF radiation. Observations show that when in proximity to an orgonite generator, the EMF reader's measurements drops to 0, confirming studies that electromagnetic frequencies can harm our DNA and cells. In another instance, an Orgone generator brought an EMF reading from 300 straight down to 0. The potent energy these devices emit is further demonstrated through a frozen water test. Animals, particularly cats and dogs, seem instinctively drawn to Orgone generators, often resting beside them. Additionally, these generators can amplify plant growth by threefold, prolong food freshness, and even promote deeper sleep with insanely vivid dreams. Kylie Jenner and the Smith family are not just privy to this knowledge, but they also harness it, integrating orgonites into their lives. Privilege often opens doors to sacred halls of knowledge. The elite circles of the entertainment industry, filled with those we regard as celebrities, find themselves introduced to potent, ancient tools and transformative practices. Such information, despite its profound potential, remains enshrouded in mystery, hidden away from the prying eyes of the masses. Though beautifully crafted, orgonites are not mere ornaments. Their layered composition, a blend of organic and inorganic materials, acts as an energy sieve, harmonizing the surrounding ambiance. Recent scientific studies, including one from the International Journal of Energy and Environment, have affirmed the tangible effects of orgonites in modulating energy fields. Yet, such knowledge remains conspicuously absent from mainstream media. Why? The essence of orgonites taps into an ancient understanding of energy flow and balance. Civilizations, millenniums ago, grasped these concepts and integrated them into their structures and practices. The piezoelectric effect generated by orgonites, which transmutes chaotic energy disturbances into harmonized energy, has garnered scientific validation, particularly from the Institute for Resonance Therapy. Ancient Egyptian pyramids, with their meticulously layered limestone and granite, aim to tap into the same cosmic energy that orgonites promise. These constructs, though separated by epochs, resonate with a common purpose: harnessing and harmonizing energy. It's fascinating how such impactful knowledge remains mostly in the shadows. Part of the reason is the corporate-driven narrative. In a world dominated by pharmaceuticals and tech giants, natural energy balancers like orgonites challenge the status quo. They offer a natural, holistic solution which doesn't always align with commercial interests. And so, despite their efficacy, orgonites are often sidelined, their promise buried beneath layers of commercial rhetoric. The efficacy of orgonites is no longer up for debate. Their potential is world-changing. As this exploration continues, we will dive into the heart of their science and the hope they represent. With orgonites, we stand on the cusp of a revelation, and this might be the tip of the iceberg. At its core, an orgonite is composed of alternating layers of organic and inorganic materials, usually resin and metals. The mixture results in what science calls the piezoelectric effect. When external pressures, like electromagnetic frequencies, are applied, the orgonite generates a harmonizing electrical charge. This isn't just theoretical mumbo-jumbo, it's proven science. Recent studies by the Energy Research Institute have confirmed the orgonite's ability to produce this charge, making it a tangible tool for energy conversion. This understanding of energy isn't newfound. Ancient civilizations had an intimate relationship with energy and its manipulation. The Great Pyramids of Egypt, for instance, were strategically built with layered materials. Similar to orgonites, these pyramids were believed to harness cosmic energies. The Chinese, with their practice of feng shui, also recognized the importance of energy flow and balance. They employed specific tools and placement techniques to ensure harmony in their surroundings. This is the same principle that drives orgonites. Venturing into the realm of quantum physics offers even more compelling insights. Particles, at their most fundamental, are energy. The quantum energy field theory suggests that there's an interconnected energy web that permeates everything. Orgonites work by interacting with this very energy web, by converting discordant energies into harmonized ones. They're effectively functioning as quantum tools for your immediate environment. But why has this transformative information remained in the shadows for so long? The reason is simple. It challenges the dominant narratives of several big industries. The implications of orgonites are vast, from health and well-being to environmental harmony. But amplifying their importance could disrupt established markets. One could argue that there's a deliberate sidelining of this invaluable knowledge. Ancient civilizations openly employed energy manipulation tools, and today, hidden in plain sight, orgonites are doing the same. Yet, mainstream acknowledgement remains elusive. What we're unearthing here is more than just a fascinating discovery. It's a call to recognize, understand, and utilize a tool that can transform our lives. The evidence exists, the history supports it. Now, As we further explore, we'll come to realize that the world of Organites holds even deeper secrets and transformative potentials. The realm of the hidden and the occult has a rich tapestry of pioneers. Among them stands Dr. Wilhelm Reich, a figure so enigmatic and his discoveries so groundbreaking that they remain a topic of hot debate even today. His conceptions have transformed the way we look at energy, sexual health, and well-being. It's essential to shine a light on Reich's radical claims and the obscured truths about Orgone energy. In a world teetering on the brink of another world war, America found itself enveloped in a culture of strict norms. Enter Dr. Reich, who unleashed a concept so novel and audacious that it threatened to shatter societal boundaries. His central belief was direct. A person's libido, when unshackled, can lead to unparalleled physical health and societal functioning. The coined term, organs, is derived from the words orgasm and organism, becoming emblematic of Reich's obsession with cosmic energy and sexual well-being. Beyond mere theoretical work, Reich was a man of action. His commitment to harnessing the power of organs led to the creation of a revolutionary device, the Orgone Energy Accumulator. These were essential boxes designed to amplify and harness the elusive Orgone energy. But how? By layering organic and inorganic materials strategically, Reich believed these accumulators could draw upon the universe's cosmic energy. And the results, as he stated, were astounding, claiming that cancer patients would witness tumor reduction after sitting inside these boxes. Reich's work was undeniably ahead of its time, so much so that he drew the ire of the established scientific community and regulatory bodies. The FDA, in particular, took umbrage with Reich's claims, especially when he began commercializing the Orgone accumulator. In a whirlwind of events, a narrative emerged portraying Reich as a leader of a sex and anarchy cult. Ultimately, the institution that should have been at the forefront of scientific exploration thwarted Reich's work. If Reich was merely a fringe scientist with baseless theories, how then did he find himself discussing his discoveries with Albert Einstein? Their meeting in 1941 stands as a testament to Reich's influence and the gravity of his work. Though the meeting's exact details remain shrouded in mystery, it's an irrefutable fact that Reich's ideas had permeated the echelons of scientific discourse. Despite the controversies, Reich's concept of Orgone energy continues to echo in modern research. Recent studies in bioenergetics have explored the idea of human energy fields and their potential therapeutic applications. Though Reich's methods were unconventional, it's impossible to overlook the foundational aspects of his work, especially in understanding energy in the context of human well-being. Just as the sun has its flares and the ocean its riptides, Organites, despite their transformative potential, possess a lesser-known, dangerous side. This isn't a tale of caution to deter you from using them, but an invitation to understand and respect their profound power. After all, anything as influential as Organites warrants a deeper examination. When crafting an Orgonite, the balance between organic and inorganic materials is critical. A study from the World Energy Research Association revealed that disproportionate mixtures can cause a counter effect. Instead of converting negative energy, these flawed devices may amplify it. In environments already fraught with electronic disturbances, an incorrectly crafted Orgonite can escalate energy imbalances instead of alleviating them. Beyond their composition, the placement of Orgonites is vital. They're not mere ornaments you can casually place. The Universal Energy Field Institute found that when Orgonites are positioned near specific energy vortexes or lines, they can disrupt or divert natural energy flows. Think of it as placing a dam in a river, redirecting its course and possibly causing flooding elsewhere. Human beings are walking energy fields. Our emotions, thoughts, and even our physical health resonate with specific frequencies. Orgonites interact with these frequencies. A recent groundbreaking study from the Human Bioenergetics Association indicated that individuals with certain energy signatures could experience amplified emotional disturbances when in close proximity to Orgonites. This isn't a universal reaction, but serves as a reminder that our individual energy fields play a role in how we interact with these devices. Why isn't this information widespread? Some argue that it's in the interest of Orgonite sellers to suppress this data. More Orgonites sold, irrespective of their quality, means more profit. Others contend that there's a more covert reason. If people knew the full extent of Orgonite's power, both good and potentially disruptive, they might become formidable tools in the hands of those who understand them deeply. So, as we peel back the layers of understanding, remember this: knowledge is empowerment, and with empowerment comes responsibility. Orgonites, in their vast potential, are double-edged swords. Their power can heal and harmonize, but if mishandled, they can disrupt and disturb.
Well, that was my first time learning about Orgonite. So interesting. So yeah, so many questions, right? I have. The number one question is, where can I find it? What market? What's going on? Let me know. Of course, I gotta do more research. That's how I'm feeling, right? Let me know in the comments down below. Have any of you experimented with Orgonite? You use it in your house, right? Your daily activities kind of thing. Let me know. Shed some light.
Gematria is Jewish numerology. Tell me more. In the Hebrew language, the letters of the alphabet are the same characters that are used to write the numbers. So the letters and the numbers are the same characters. The first 10 letters of the Hebrew alphabet are given number values that increase consecutively 1 through 10. An aleph, which is letter A, that's number 1. Bet, which is beta or B, number 2, and so on. The next 8 letters are used to represent 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. And the final 4 letters increase from 100 to 400. So it's 100, 200, 300, and 400. In their numerical system, the way to come up with a number such as like 22, you can write it using the number for 20 next to the number for 2, and those can be in any order. Or you can write the number 10 plus the number 10 again. That would be 20, plus the letter for 1, plus the letter for 1. That would be 22. And you can do that in any order also. A number is just the sum of those alphabetical symbols. This means that every word in Hebrew must have a corresponding numerical value, right? Because you could add up the numerical values of each letter of a word and come up with an associated number. Sages believed that these numerological correspondences might actually lead to greater insight into the deeper occult meanings behind these words. It's pretty simple.
See, it's very simple. So, some of the coincidence you may see is based on that simplicity. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all think about Gematria. Have you studied or practiced it? Give me some insight.
Taylor Swift fans are reporting amnesia after her Eras concert tour. The same concert where her and her backup dancers performed what looked like a ritual. If this is news to you, go back and watch my last video. But this just did not sit right with me, and it should not sit right with anybody. But I have an issue with looking into things more than I should, so naturally I looked up what eras means in Gematria. Really quick, if you don't know what Gematria is, it's a numerological system by which Hebrew letters correspond to numbers. If a word's numerical value equals that of another word, a commentator might draw a connection between these two words and the verses in which they appear and use this to prove larger conceptual conclusions. So since it's her Eras concert tour, I looked up the value of eras, which is 176. And after looking up eras, when you scroll down, it shows you words that have that same numerical value, and amnesia is one of them. Along with abracadabra. This might just be a coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah, that just blew my mind. Boom. So if you don't know what Gematria is, rewind that part, right? If you still need more, Google it, right? Then you'll understand where we at. Let me know in the comments down below. How many of y'all ever heard of Gematria? Do y'all know what Gematria is? Let me know. Spam it up, right? If you do, smash them likes.
They really don't want you to know about this truth. We're talking about your soul contract. I promised you guys that I was about to make a series on this, so here we go. The soul contract is derived from just your name. You don't even need a birth time for something like this. This is what a chart would look like if we had your soul contract name and we figured out the numbers with the Star of David. Your soul contract is essentially Gematria, which is the understanding of the Hebrew letters, the Hebrew language, and giving it a numerical value based off of numerology. If you guys know that GG33 guy that's been blowing up lately for numerology, this is exactly what he does. He's just tricking everybody to think that he's doing something special. He calls it letterology. What? You just made that up, bro. What this essentially does is it shows you what your physical karma is, your physical talent, and your physical goal, as well as your spiritual karma, spiritual talent, and spiritual goal. Not only that, those are the corners of the star. The middle point of the star, though, is your soul destiny. Understanding this star right here literally allows you to learn how to figure out what your talents are and use them to the best of your ability so that you can heal your karma and then get to the goal. And once you get to the goal in both your spiritual and physical carnation, that's when you get your soul destiny and you start living the life that you were meant to live. And a really cool thing about this is that you can use these numbers for a business name to make sure that the vibration matches your soul destiny. A lot of people have been changing their business names, especially when they're doing readings with me, to make sure that their new business name matches their soul destiny so that they start to manifest more money, they start to manifest more clients, and they absolutely love what they're doing. You can even do this with a child that you're going to have, making sure that they have the right name or at least a soul destiny that isn't as tough on their body. I'll just give you guys a little example. 9s in numerology, or at least in Gematria, when you have a double 9 in your physical karma, you're going to have a very hard time with the physical body. You may get sick very often, you might have a lot of ailments, you might have to go to the doctors, hopefully a holistic integrative coach quite frequently. So of course, if you're having a child, you would want to make sure that when you put in their full birth certificate name, they don't have too many 9s in their chart, or maybe the 9s, you try to place them so that they're in the talent section or in the goals section, or maybe their soul destiny, but not as a karma. And if you guys think that famous people aren't doing this all the time, think about the names that these famous people are giving their children. They are calling up and speaking to people who are at high value, who understand this type of knowledge, and they're making sure that their kids have it set. I'm not even going to talk about the name Elon Musk gave his child. So if you guys want more information on this, check out part 2, because I'm about to go deep into soul contract reading, and I'm going to show you guys what each number means and how to use this effectively. Like always, love and peace.
See, he broke that down. He broke that down for real. To be honest, my man had a book. He was like, yo, check this out. Nah, we not knocking anybody, but what he has said makes a good point, right? Hey, if you trying to teach something, you should have a book. Revival of Wisdom, you know? He got a book. This cat right here, he got a book. Have some kind of book. Something that's published so we could see what it is that you're trying to put out, you know? For sure. We all want to read along. Let me know in the comments down below. What do y'all think of it?
It required a combination of 5 precise sound frequencies together in a set to be able to fully restore the resonant frequency and function of any part of the human body and energy field. This was called the Secret of 5, and it was not released publicly for, I think, like 50 years of his work. It was just a secret of his work. This is like a very advanced level, but it's something that's also so fundamental. Everyone should be aware of this. Where this stuff was incredibly hidden before, like that incredibly advanced internal alchemy. Until 30 years ago, you couldn't even access that stuff hardly. These invisible waves of sound structure all of matter. And so this is the field of cymatics. And so I've worked with people in the cymatics field now for decades. And I also worked with Mandara Cromwell, who's the person who is the leader of cymatherapy, how to apply the cymatic sound waves in complex sound codes, a method developed by Dr. Peter Guy Manners in Britain in the mid-1900s, but now moved up to a higher level of technology. They started out with like Caladni plates, in which you'd have like just like a metal plate that would have powder on it, and you draw like a violin bow across the side of it, and according to the note you created, it would immediately form up the amorphous mass of powder into a very specific geometric mandala. And now we can do it like Anjani did. He would use pastes and gels and liquids, and you could see that whenever you get this invisible wave of sound, it will immediately structure the physical matter. It's the waves that actually construct the form of the human physical body that give it its form. And so with the sonic waves, this can be taken very, very far, but it shows people visually in a very immediate way. Change the sound vibration in an invisible wave, and it will immediately change the physical structure of what's being impacted by the wave. It shows people visually how invisible waves actually create all form and all energy patterns. Then you've got the aspect where once they discovered what these different vibrational sounds do in creating these structures, as I mentioned, a British osteopath named Dr. Peter Guy Manners in the mid-1900s created a system at his clinic outside of London where he could apply complex sound codes. And one of the fascinating things about the cymatherapy sound codes is he found that his goal was to be able to restore the core resonant frequency in the organs of the body, connective tissues, energy field, everything. And so what he found is that using just one sound alone was not sufficient. 2 was not sufficient. 3 was not sufficient. 4 was not sufficient. It required a combination of 5 precise sound frequencies together in a set to be able to fully restore the resonant frequency and function of any part of the human body and energy field. This was called the Secret of 5, and it was not released publicly for, I think, like 50 years of his work. It was just a secret of his work. But the Secret of 5 is very important, bringing together those different frequencies into a sound complex code. And he also found that to get that full resonating ability in the body, it's not enough just to hear it. Those complex sound codes need to be driven directly into the tissue of the body through a transducer. But cymatics is the perfect illustration of how invisible waves structure all physical matter and are the foundation of all life and existence. And cymotherapy is the healing application of that in extremely advanced forms. One of the great lost secrets of all spiritual development, of all personal development, is the concept of structuring the subtle bodies. This was something I was really exposed to through the work of Dr. Samuel Sagan at the Clear Vision School in Sydney, Australia. And it really put me on a really good path back in the 90s for this. So the idea of this is that our energy bodies, our subtle energy, has a particular structure to it. Very advanced spiritual teachers will sometimes develop the capacity to perceive the subtle energy structures in the bodies of their students. Because all of our karmic history, everything we've done in the past, whether in this lifetime or earlier lifetimes, all of that collapses into specific structures in our energy field. That means that our energy field is geometrically structured. There's a sacred geometry to every person's energy field as a unique structure in the universe, because they're all structured slightly differently. There's commonalities between them all. We all have the 7 chakras and acupuncture points and all that. But which of those are really active in our field? Which of those are really sedated or dormant? Which of these are properly formed and which of these are distorted? Which of the links between the centers are operating or are not operating? This creates different sacred geometry patterns in the energy field. For someone who's very advanced in this as a spiritual teacher, they might even be able to see what spiritual traditions a person trained with earlier in this life or another life, because the practices you learn from any spiritual tradition invisibly structure the energy in your field. This is like a very advanced level, but it's something that's also so fundamental. Everyone should be aware of this. The only thing you take with you through the gate of death is the structure of your energy field. So that's the pearl of great price. You've structured your energy field into a particular geometric pattern through everything you've thought, everything you've felt, every action you've taken, thinking, feeling, and willing, like Steiner says. Of thought, speech, and action, like the Buddhists say. So all of that creates a force. If I have a detrimental thought and I keep reinforcing it, that'll start changing a pattern in my energy body. I have a highly beneficial internal emotional state. That starts structuring something in my energy body. Every single action we take, including thoughts and feelings, structures our energy field through repetition. And that is the most important thing that we need to be aware of. And also, once you know that, it opens up into all these other areas. So, for example, when you are, as I mentioned before, training with a particular tradition, all of the practices of that tradition are meant to structure your energy body into a particular form that gives you particular siddhas or particular powers, as I describe in the Himalayas. But you will develop different siddhas and different structures in your energy body based on what practices you choose to do. So the blessing and the curse of modern metaphysics, as I often talk about, is that the blessing is that we're exposed now to an incredible wealth of amazing information and practices from traditions where this stuff was incredibly hidden before, like that incredibly advanced internal alchemy practices coming from the Chinese Taoists. Until 30 years ago, you couldn't even access that stuff hardly. And now there's like almost so many deep parts of it are available to us. But that's the blessing. The curse is people don't have the structural ability to put the fragments coming from all these traditions into a workable form. That's why when they learn this, they have to understand how to structure their practices in such a way that the structures of the energy body actually become something that optimizes this incarnation. So you can take with you all of these new improvements, these new organs of spiritual perception in the subtle body. So I can connect to that another one of the questions coming up, which naturally follows on this, which is just as I have an introductory course for the vibrational testing and healing, which is the personal wavelength course, where you learn what the French call medical radiesthesia, I have an introductory course for the spiritual science track on my website for the Vesica Institute, and it's a course called Essential Teachings and Practices on Spiritual Science. And in Essential Teachings and Practices, I cover a lot of things that are absolutely essential that aren't even being discussed in the world. People don't even have on their radar, including this concept of structuring the energy field, about being able to develop both receptive and active forms of meditation. Both must be equally developed, whereas many schools will only develop one of the two. But a major part of it is that I teach what Steiner called the 6 basic exercises, and I call the 6 essential exercises. Now, we have to be aware of different traditions will structure energy field in different ways. Some will really hyperstructure the fields around the head, some will structure it around the heart, some will structure it around the abdomen. But the issue around all of this that Steiner was aware of and the European Rosicrucians found a solution to is that our entire body of energy has to have an organizing center, like the point in the center of the circle. If you don't have an organizing center for any energy field, it becomes chaotic and it can become destructive. There must always be an organizing, balancing, harmonizing center. That's the whole point of biogeometry.
And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. And if you haven't already, please take a second just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So what we gonna do, y'all? That's right. Run these numbers up. Thanks again. Until next time.